Hey guys, this is Brandon Smith, and today I'm going to be talking about the Tokyo rig. So first off, I want to talk about how this rig is constructed. So we have a barrel swivel connected to a welded O-ring. On that O-ring, we have our hook, and we have a wire down leader. The wire down leader is where you're going to put your weight. So you're going to slide your weight on, and you're going to cinch the wire down leader just like so with a pair of pliers. That way your weight can't go anywhere. Why do I like using the Tokyo rig so much? I think it's a nice switch up from your standard Texas rig presentation. A big reason why I really like it, it keeps your bait off the bottom. Keeps out of the mud because you have that wire down leader. It's not going to collapse, so it's going to keep your bait completely out of the muck, out of the silt, all of that. So it's easier for the bass to get to your bait. Because you know, when you're fishing a Texas rig, very rarely do fish want to go into the muck, into the silt, and try to dig your bait out. So they want it a little bit easier. And that's what the Tokyo rig's for, because it's going to keep you out of that muck, and it's going to be easier for the fish to get to it. Another factor I really like about the Tokyo rig, the hook and the weight are completely separate. What that helps with, it helps the action of the bait. The bait is able to move freely on that O-ring, so it has complete freedom. It's not impeded by the weight. Also, when you're throwing that Tokyo rig out there, when it falls in the water, it's not going to have a slanted fall like you would like on a pegged weight for a Texas rig. Rather than that, since the weight and the hook are separate, it's going to have that nice straight fall. It looks a lot more natural than a slanted fall. Also, another part about having the hook and the weight completely separate, it's going to help out your hookup ratio. You know, when you're fishing a Texas rig, you have the weight usually pegged down right by the hook. So whenever you're setting the hook on a fish, the first thing that's going to hit that fish is the weight. And sometimes it can pry that fish's mouth open and the hook will come right on out and you'll miss that fish. With the Tokyo rig, there's nothing in the way of that hook. It's just you, the fish, and the hook. And the rest is history there, and you're going to catch more fish. If you're a first-time Tokyo rig user, something I recommend. I mean, I used the Tokyo rig before I got this kit, but I think it's a really cool idea that Missile Baits came up with. John Cruz created this Tokyo rig kit, and it's awesome. It's got everything you need in it. It's got your VMC Tokyo rig. It's got 2 per the pack, and you also have your weights included, and it has a bunch of great Missile Baits in there. Let me pull out a few. You got the quiver. You got the destroyers, and I think you also have a 4.5 inch version of the quiver. This was the 6.5 version. That's a great little starter kit if you're new to the Tokyo rig. I highly recommend it. They also got some other great kits out there for different situations. That's my video on the Tokyo rig. Let me know if you've ever used it before, what are your thoughts on it, and thanks for watching.